What is going on, guys? Jay Shy here with another video, and I originally wanted to make this video on the other side of my room where my desk is, but there's a bunch of like unbuilt Gundam model kits they're like kind of like sitting on the floor, taking up a lot of room that I haven't built yet. So I figure I make this video. I know it seems like I'm uncomfortable. It's because I'm turned this way, and the couch is kind of like it's just kind of in the way. I would do it over there, but whatever. But I kind of wanted to make this video. I don't know. I kind of wanted to make this video where it was kind of just, I guess, a borderline a discussion or kind of like a conversation, because I've come to terms to notice that I'm more of a person who likes to have a conversation, have debates and stuff like that. And one of the things is like I really didn't want to get into the whole editing thing. I'm actually just got home from work, so I'm feeling quite lazy, so I didn't want to do the editing thing. So I was just like, let me just shoot a video and just talk about what I want to talk about. So anyway, a couple of days ago I was online PSN with a friend, buddy of mine, and I was playing some strategy RPG, and he was playing on his PS2 while he was on his PS4 talking to me. So he had two consoles running at the same time, and he was playing Silent Hill: The Room. And I remember overhearing him just very, very frustrated, like very, very just upset at the screen and at the game. And I remember asking him, like, he was working on getting the perfect ending or the great ending of the game. And I remember asking him, I was like, is it really all that difficult? And he told me, yes, it's really annoying to get this ending to this game, which is the best ending of the game, apparently. And it just kind of like dawned on me. I was like, I wonder what was my like couple games that I had some of the most frustrating things like just had to get through with gaming. So that's why I'm making this video, because I kind of want to know if like anybody else has gone through this. Like, so when I was younger, I remember that one of the games that I had one of the most frustrating times getting the perfect ending for was a game called The Bouncer. The Bouncer was on PS2. I remember playing this when I was like, what was this, sophomore year of high school, maybe freshman, I don't remember. But I remember this game frustrating. If you don't know what The Bouncer is, it's basically a picture Final Fantasy as a 3D beat 'em up game. When I was a kid, I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was bad. It's just very clunky. But I remember playing this game, and I remember beating this game. And in order for you to get the perfect ending of the game, I wouldn't say it's the perfect ending. Maybe it's the complete ending of the game. You have to beat the game 3 times with all 3 characters that are in the game. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people made the same mistake that I did, which was you played with the first 2 coolest looking characters of the game, which is you had the first person I beat the game with, who I thought was the coolest, has tattoos all over his body. His name is Ko. And his moveset is just basically a flurry of kicks, and he's really, really fast at it. Then you got a character who looks exactly like that kid from Sora from Kingdom Hearts, but his name is Sion. And he's basically like the in-between guy. He's not too slow, he's not too fast, but he's just that all-rounder type of character. I beat the game the first 2 times with those 2 characters. A lot of people have made that mistake probably. And then when you have to beat the game the 3rd time, you have to use one of the slowest and heaviest characters I've ever had the luxury of using in that game. And his name is Volt. And the thing that makes it frustrating is because every time you beat the game, the final boss loses a piece of clothing and he gets harder. So like the first time you beat him, you just kind of beat him. And then when you go through your second playthrough of the game, I think he takes off his jacket. And then once he takes off his jacket, then the third time you have to fight him, he takes off his shirt. And I think every time he loses a piece of clothing, he gets 10% harder. He's just harder. But he has one of the coolest names to me in video game history. Like, it's just, he has one of the coolest names. It's like, his name is Duragon C. Mikado. Like, that's just cool. Like, getting your ass kicked by a guy named Duragon C. Mikado just came off really cool, but it was the most frustrating time I've ever had in gaming. It didn't help that the bouncer has like this kind of ragdoll effect. So like, if one of your partners or an enemy just randomly gets kicked by someone else and falls to the floor and they just touch you, you go down. Like, it was the worst thing. It just, you ragdoll all over the place. And that final boss fight with Vault was the most annoying thing ever. Eventually I did beat the game. It took years. I beat the game because I beat the game 4 months ago after playing the game on my first playthrough with Volt and then going through the whole transition of playing with Sion and then Ko last because he's the fastest guy. I did get to see that final ending, so that is the worst thing, was the bouncer. That's the first one. The second one was a game which I'm pretty sure none of you are probably going to know. It's a horizontal shooter called Soldner X2. It's a shmup game, but it's a German shmup, and it's not terrible. It's on the Vita, so that's why I'm assuming no one's heard of this, because you probably have to import this game if I'm not mistaken. But this game it's not hard. It's not a hard game, but it is very annoying to try and get the perfect ending of the game, because of the fact that in order for you to get the perfect ending of the game, you just can't fly to the end of the game. You have to find a way to get a certain score to unlock keys that float out of nowhere in the map, and you have to get them before they leave so that they open up portals to the next level. What sucks is that sometimes these keys just come out of nowhere, like at random. Like, they'll just fly out, like, and you have to keep your eye on the screen with this moving background that doesn't stop. And it's annoying. It's just a flurry of bullets, and then randomly you'll see the key, but it's on its way off the screen, so you have no time to grab it. And the only way you can get this great ending is if you get all those keys and, like, fly your way to the final level of the game. I haven't beaten that game, because I really don't. Every time I try to get it and I get really, really close, I don't get it. That's another frustrating game that I've attempted, which is Soldner X2. I think for the final one, most definitely would probably have to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Even though I love that game, and I'm pretty sure I've broken that game, like, because I've found everything in that game. Like, I was a kid just willing to run around in that castle over and over and over. But in order for you to get the quote-unquote perfect ending of the game, you have to, I think you have to meet, like, certain requirements. So one of the requirements is basically you have, Richter can't die. In the boss fight with him, he's not supposed to die. You have to figure out a way how to, I don't know if you guys want me to spoil it, but I'm not going to spoil it here. But you're not supposed to kill the character in the boss fight. You're supposed to figure out something, and you're supposed to keep him alive. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to unlock the upside down castle. Once you unlock the upside down castle, this is where it gets really, really annoying, because in order for you to get the perfect ending of the game, you have to have 200.6% of the map cleared. What this means is you'll basically have to run through every crevice. You'll have to super jump to every corner of this castle. That means most of the time it's just you running around, like, looking at your map, seeing what's grayed out, and then flying up there, and then or jumping up there and turning it blue on your map so that you know you mapped that part out of the map. It was the most tedious thing I've ever had to do as a child, was to unlock that map. It was horrible. But because, like, a lot of the times when you're looking at the map, you you're staring at it for so long, trying to find little gray tiny pieces in this giant map, and it was hell. It was hell. It was the most frustrating thing. And you know what's weird is, like, to this day, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is still one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I love that game. I'm willing to play that game over and over and over again. I'm not gonna lie, I've never actually attempted to get perfect endings in video games too often, because I've noticed that they tend to frustrate me. I think the last one that I actually attempted to try and do was Bloodborne. I tried to, not, I wouldn't say like get the complete ending, but that was the first time I attempted to platinum anything, because I don't have platinum trophies, like, at all. Like, I've never platinum anything. Like, I'm not a platinum guy. Like, I don't, go out of my way to try and platinum a game. But, like, I know a lot of my friends, they tend to do it, but I've never just been that guy. But Bloodborne was the first one where I was just like, well, I'm kind of close, so I guess I'll do it. But I think the game requires you to do the chalice dungeons and stuff like that, and those are fun after a while, but then they get really, really, really boring and repetitive, so I didn't want to continue to run through it. So that was like the closest thing, which is weird because, like, I didn't platinum the game, but I got the best ending in this story, like, by accident. Like, I wasn't really trying. I wasn't aiming for the best ending in that game. Like, I just sort of got it by complete accident. But I thought that this video might be pretty cool and a good conversation starter, because I know a lot of people out there, they're very, I wouldn't say completionists, but they like to have the best of things. So when it comes to games, especially endings, like, I have a couple of friends that went out of their way to get that Final Fantasy X-2 ending, the best one with Tidus at the end, and I couldn't go through that kind of stuff. Like, I couldn't go through that. That's too much. But I figured this would be a good conversation starter, like, if I made this video. So, what are some of you guys' like I guess, what are some of the games that you actually went ahead, like, above and beyond for to try and get that great ending? But I thought this would be cool to talk about, so I figured I'd talk about it. I'm actually kind of tired because I actually just got home from work, and I was like, let me shoot this video so I can upload it and play some video games, maybe stream some more stuff for you, some random games that I'm playing. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. This is very guerrilla because you're going to see me stand up and turn this off.